Wow. As much as I wanted Chelsea to win that game, you do have to sit there and put a lot of respect on Jurgen Klopp's name. What he did today, what Liverpool achieved with 11 players missing, with a team of mostly academy players coming into extra time in a cup final, the biggest occasion, and their ability to come at an extra time where I almost felt like, okay, yeah, Chelsea are probably going to win this now because Chelsea ended the original 90 minutes better and could have scored 2 or 3, for them to come at an extra time and the kids to take control of the game and to be playing that well with so many key players missing, you have to say respect to Jurgen Klopp. He and Van Dijk, I think, are all-timers. We'll talk about Van Dijk, how good he was. Monster performance today, but I think he is a Premier League all-timer. I think Jurgen Klopp is an all-timer with what he's achieved at Liverpool, no matter the injuries, no matter the spending of City and other teams, he's always kept up there. He's always got to win. No Salah, no Trent, no Nunes, no Szoboszlai, no Jota, no Alistair, no Alisson. A team of inexperienced players against £1 billion Chelsea side, and they get the job done. Kwanzaa's 21, he came on. Bobby Clarke's 19, he came on. Conor Bradley's 20, he started. Dan's, is that how you say his name? 18, he came on. McConnell, and McConnell really caught my eye out of all the youngsters. And maybe I'll do a video on McConnell. I thought he caught my eye the most out of the youngsters that came on. I thought he was really tidy. He's 19, and even Harvey Elliott, who started, is 20 years of age. And it was almost like Van Dijk and the academy players, and they won the game against Chelsea's billions and billions. Chelsea subbing on 70 million Mudryk. So as much as I wanted Chelsea to win, I also said, you know what, I've got a lot of respect for Jurgen Klopp and what he's done with Liverpool, because football is about playing good football. Football is about, academy players coming through and getting a chance, and young players. And obviously being a Man United fan, Sir Alex Ferguson, and how you play good football and bring youngsters in and all of that. You know, Klopp was doing that at Liverpool, and I have a lot of respect. And I say, you know what, the fact that the team of kids beat the team of, that spent £1 billion and might be in some FFP trouble, fair enough, as much as I wanted Chelsea to win. But I want to talk about Van Dijk. I want to talk about the kids. I want to talk about numerous things, to be honest. But I think putting the rivalry aside, that was incredible from Liverpool, because if we look at the game, I saw Liverpool making these subs and Chelsea were having chance after chance. And to be fair, Chelsea should have gone 1-0 up by the 90th minute. Conor Gallagher missed a sitter. And I thought, yeah, if Chelsea don't win this now, this isn't a good look for Poch. And that was no disrespect to Liverpool, but they had 11 first-team players out. They had a midfield of Endo with, Clarke and McConnell, who were very, very good. They had Dennis up front. They had Tsimikas on for Robertson. They had C options. I thought, yeah, surely Chelsea win that now. But the energy and intensity, I don't know what Klopp said to them. And I think Klopp proves that football is massively about management. But whatever Klopp said to them at full time in the original 90 minutes before extra time, I don't know what it was, but it was incredible. The way that Liverpool came up with so much energy, so much intensity in extra time, where they are knackered with all these kids, where everyone expects Chelsea to win the game because they missed about 5 big chances at the end of the original 90 minutes, was really, really impressive. And you have to give it to Klopp. This is, for me, him making that team competitive, him taking risks to play the kids in a final. You've got to give him respect. And McConnell in particular caught my eye, but Conor Bradley's been good all season. Kwanzaa's been very good when he's played as well. So you have to give a bit of credit for that as well. And I want to get into the game. I want to get into more analysis of the game. And I think, to be fair, I don't think Virgil van Dijk's original goal should have been ruled out. So maybe it was a justice that Van Dijk got the winner at the end. But as a United fan, I've been backing Ten Hag because I'm against sacking managers every 2 years. And I'm saying, look, he's had injuries. He's had so many players missing. But you look at Klopp with all these injuries and how they're winning finals and they're winning games. And Klopp's still making them play the same way with these kids coming through. And I say I am very jealous. I am very jealous. I am very, very jealous. Big shout out to Kelleher. Kelleher was absolutely fantastic today. Kept Liverpool in it. I think that was one of his best performances in a Liverpool shirt that I've seen. But I want to talk about Van Dijk. For me, Van Dijk was man of the match. Not just because he scored the winner, but because he's a monster. He brought that captain's leadership to the side, to the team, when I think Liverpool needed it. He brought that real sense of captain's leadership, I'm the man kind of sense there. And I think Van Dijk will go down as a Premier League all-timer. I think he has to. I think Klopp and Van Dijk will have to, particularly if Liverpool end up winning the league this season as well with all this out. But I think this will also give Liverpool a massive confidence boost for the league. But Liverpool were knackered. Liverpool looked sort of down and out in that 80th to 90th minute. It felt like Chelsea were going to nick it in the last minute of normal time, and they got to extra time, and the way that Liverpool pulled through in extra time was incredible. But Van Dijk was a beast today. I mean, he basically had Chelsea had about 50 shots, could not score. No matter what Chelsea were doing, they could not score. They could not put it in the back of the net. And Van Dijk just was like, basically scored both his chances. He was like, I'm showing you, Chelsea, how to score. Obviously, one was ruled out, which for me, when Man United had a goal ruled out for the same thing, I was absolutely fuming. So I understand Liverpool's frustration with that goal being ruled out. But he was class. I mean, if you look at his game numbers here, you know, tackles, interceptions, 100% tackles won, 92 passes, 7 clearances, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions. He had a lot of work to do. He had a lot of work to do defensively. Chelsea played some good stuff at the time. They were running at Liverpool. They had a lot of work to do. And then he obviously scores the goal in a big moment. And I think, to be honest, not just because of the goal, not just because of this game, but Van Dijk has been a monster this season. I know people sort of wrote him off a little bit last season, the season before, saying, oh, one season wonder. But he's come back, and this season, if Liverpool win Premier League, whatever Liverpool win, Van Dijk has been so key to that. He makes that team so much more stable, so much better. He's honestly, the way I can't explain it, but he's an absolute monster. He's defensively good. He can read the game. He's quick. He's physical. He wins everything in the air. He's a box defender, but at set pieces, he's scoring. And I think his leadership, his ability physically, his ability to be a goal threat, and his sweeper defending are all elements that you see in a top centre-back. And I think, for me, he was probably up there with Kelleher as man of the match. Now, I do want to talk about a few other players. Obviously, Kelleher making 3 absolutely world-class saves. But James McConnell out of the young players really caught my eye. I think the young players were good. I think the fact that the young players are thrown into such a big game, I mean, that shows a lot about the mentality. And I also think, and I said this in a video not that long ago, but I think in terms of mentality, Klopp is one of the best managers in terms of his man management, how he deals with players. I always felt like Liverpool had that mentality when the going gets tough. You know, when they were 3-0 down to Barcelona and they won 4-3. The amount of times Liverpool have been a goal down this season or 2 goals down the season, and then they've won the game in the second half when they've not had a good first half. I think in terms of mentality manager, in terms of ability to turn things around at half time, you have to give it to Jurgen Klopp. The way Liverpool might have a poor first half in previous games this season in the league, and then Liverpool come out in the second half a different side. The amount of times Liverpool have been behind and turn it around and won the game, and you can never rule Liverpool out. Liverpool are one of the only teams, if not the only team I watch, and they could be 3-0 down, and I could still think they could win 4-3 with 20 minutes to go. And Klopp's instilled that in them. They're absolute mentality monsters. And you've got to give Klopp credit for that. But I did want to talk about James McConnell. I thought it was a really good cameo from him. He was really tidy. I know it wasn't on long, but I think, you know, the circumstances, the Chelsea press, I thought he brought much needed energy to the midfield as well. I think you could see that both teams were knackered. You could see that actually it was a 0-0 until the last minute of the game, really. But it was so end-to-end that game was very intense. I can imagine with the transitions and how direct both teams were and how end-to-end that game was incredibly tiring. And you could see that in the legs of players. And I think Klopp was like, doesn't want to risk any more injuries. And that's why I think he brought on the young players and he had a lot of trust in them. But I thought James McConnell's energy was really good. I will talk about Endo and his energy. But I thought his little short cameo was really good. Tidy passes. Ooh, lagging. Yeah, let me get some statistics up here. I also thought Bobby Clarke did really well, and I thought what they did is they helped up to the intensity, which was really important in extra time, because Liverpool were the better team in extra time because Liverpool came out with more intensity, more desire, which was key because of the midfield changes. But he had 47 touches, created 3 chances, completed 6 duels, and completed 34 passes. You know, a young guy coming in, massive occasion, brought that intensity. Like, those statistics are really good for McConnell, and I think him and Endo absolutely started running rings around the Chelsea midfield at the end, and the ground coverage that these guys made, because Chelsea were knackered. I mean, Conor Gallagher never gives up, and I would have probably kept Conor Gallagher on. He ran a lot, but Endo and McConnell were running rings around the Chelsea midfield. They upped the intensity, and the ground that they were covering was so key. Endo in that midfield was so key because he was the leader, he was the engine, he was behind the kids. He was saying, if you mess up, you know, I'll deal with it defensively. And you could tell how exhausted Endo was, but he was a warrior. He did not give up. And what I like about Endo is when he gets the ball, he was so keen to just play it into the kids. He wanted the kids on the ball. Endo got the ball. He was so keen to just play it to Clarke, play it to McConnell quickly, the trust in his young players. Endo loves to move the ball quickly, play it to his teammates, get them on the ball. And, you know, Bobby Clarke and McConnell come on and they help Liverpool win a trophy, and they get a hold of that midfield, the 100 million Moises Caicedo that Liverpool once wanted, the 100 million Enzo Fernandez. and they got a hold of that midfield. They dominated the midfield. They were running rings around the midfield at the end, which then meant Liverpool were creating more chances, and Liverpool the more dominant team. And you look at Klopp, Nat Phillips and Reece Williams, they got top four with that centre-back partnership, and today he's won a trophy with Bobby Clarke and McConnell in midfield. And I think Conor Bradley, Bobby Clarke, James McConnell, Dans and Kwanzaa all coming in and putting an absolute shift. All players that at the start of the season you wouldn't think would be playing for Liverpool in the cup final, and what a good job they've done. None of them hid. They all upped the intensity. And it's mad because that is the biggest game they're going to play. That is a cup final, and they all came on and none of them hid. And they were absolutely brilliant. Even Kelleher was brilliant. The C options were brilliant. They had so many players out Liverpool, and as much as I don't like to admit it, you have to respect it. You have to respect it. I wanted Chelsea to win, but I also have more respect for Liverpool than Chelsea because of just this. I think for me, it's a big fan of Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United, the class of '92. Obviously, I wasn't alive when that was around, but just watching kids come into football and the young players play well and the young players dominant and watching good football and not all about, Manchester City spending the billions and billions of pounds. Yeah, you've got to respect it. So fair play to Liverpool. They deserved to win in the end. Chelsea had the better chances. They didn't put it away in an extra time. Liverpool just came out with the energy, the fierceness, and sort of showed Chelsea this is what you've got to do if you want to be a title-winning team. This is what you've got to do. You've got to put your chances to bed. You've got to come out with that energy. You've got to come out with intensity. And I think, to be honest, it's on Klopp. I think it's on Klopp, and I think, luckily for me as a Man United fan, he's leaving and he's going to be irreplaceable for Liverpool. I generally think he's an all-timer in terms of managers. There's many good managers out there, but his ability to do so much with a lack of players is fair play. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.